let's talk about piano. Choosing your instrument is like embarking on a musical adventure. It is the journey of a person leading his normal life and heading towards the divine energy of music, which is termed as not something humans develop, but something of a godly level art. To express those emotions and to be immersed in a divinity, we need an instrument, and not all of us know whether or not to choose the particular instrument. And that's what we are gonna put the spotlight on today.
Hello friends, my name is Ragwansh, and in today's video we are gonna look at this topic on the behalf of a piano. So I myself am playing the digital piano for around about 10 years now, and now I am at a decent stage where I can guide people whether or not to choose the keyboard or a piano as a primary instrument. So in today's video we are gonna look at the pros and the cons and know why industry professionals like Charlie Puth, Ed Sheeran and Alan Walker uses piano or digital keyboard as their primary instrument. So let's dive right into it. Now let's take a glance at the pros first. Let me tell it to you with the help of a story. Do you know how a lion looks like? You might say obviously, we all know. Do you know how a carrot looks like? Yes, everyone does. But why is it so? Do you know it at the moment of your birth? No, you didn't. So how did you came to know about it? You saw it. You saw how a lion looks like in the TV, photographs, pictures, or just anywhere else, even in your textbooks. You saw how a carrot looks like. But here's a catch. Imagine a person telling you, narrating to you that how a lion looks like. He's telling you to imagine an animal that has large legs, a long tail, enormous face with hairs on his face, and he belongs to the cat family. Would you be able to recognize how he looks like? You might just build up an image of an animal that looks like a 2 or 3 year old kid's drawing. So it shows that if you see something clearly, you are more likely to remember it more precisely and with more details than just verbal descriptions. Similarly, it is with the music. The more clearly and separately you see things, the likeliness of you remembering it and understanding it clearly increases. And that is the case with piano. In a piano or a keyboard, you are able to visually see all the 12 notes of an octave and even the higher and the lower pitch iterations of it separately as well, making it easier for a beginner to remember it, unlike a guitar or a saxophone in which there are these limitations to the visual aspect. Like, you can't really inbuilt 88 strings in a guitar, right? Yeah, it could be quite daunting for some people, but in the long run, it just helps and benefit each and every one of us. Okay, so here's the adventure quest number 1. What's your purpose? What for are you learning an instrument? Is it just for building a side hobby, or are you looking yourself performing in the future and take it a long way? Which takes us to the next point, which is piano gives you more versatile options.
Okay, so as you might have already seen and heard of those beautiful piano pieces that are out on the internet, why do you think that they are so beautiful and just sound complete? They sound so because the piano or a keyboard gives more versatile option in terms of playing. You can play with both the hands, one playing the chord, one playing the tone, one playing the backgrounds and one playing the leads, and just work with them, play with them, and just make the whole song more immersive. Now, I'm not saying that the other instruments don't do so. Surely the guitar is a good instrument in which you can play with both the hands, but there's not more options while playing the right hand or maybe the lead, because you can either strum, pluck, or maybe give some vibratos from the strings. At least that's what I, as a non-guitarist, know of how guitar is played. But on the other hand, the piano or a keyboard gives you more immersive experience. You can play multiple fingers at the same time, giving that melody, giving that harmonic sound to the piano, and whereas the left hand just gives the background and the depth of the whole music, and it just makes the whole thing complete. And talking about the versatility of the piano or a keyboard, there's also this angle that a guitar, a saxophone, a cajon cannot be played in various different genres. But on the other hand, a piano or a keyboard is an instrument that you can pretty much play in each and every genre that you can hear out there on the music platforms or the music you hear. Like, think of jazz, think of R&B, country music, classic music, each and every music, orchestral music. You can hear piano in each and every genre of music, and that's the fun part. I mean, like, you can just master one instrument and then play how many of the genres that you want to play and experiment with, and you don't have to juggle between different instruments to learn different genres. And one more thing that I want to state about the versatility of the piano is that if you're looking up for an instrument that can accompany you while your solo performances, while you're singing karaoke performances, then it's really a good option to master a keyboard or a piano. You can just put the keyboard on the stage, grab your mic, sing along and play with the keyboard, and it's gonna be a hell of a good experience. Okay, so the sunlight is going and I need to go downstairs to find good lighting conditions, so let's go.
Now, point number 3. It usually takes a longer time to master a piano. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I've heard it from my other friends and on the internet as well, that in comparison with the guitar, a keyboard or a piano is much harder and much difficult to learn. Now, mostly this is because of the brain power that is required to play a piano, because in the piano, both the hands are gonna do different movements at the same time. And yeah, it's difficult. But for me, it was easier learning a piano because I've been learning a piano from a very early age. And when in the recent months I tried picking up a guitar, I felt miserable and like a piece of shit who can't even hold it properly. This video is clearly one of the most embarrassing moments of my life now when I look back towards it. But it's okay, it is what it is. And now let's move towards the second adventure quest of the day, which is how much time are you willing to invest? Since learning it is not a piece of cake, so you have to think wisely whether or not to choose it according to yourself. Now, the second con that I want to state here is that piano is not something that's meant to be portable and transportable. I mean, yeah, you can easily get the transportable and foldable pianos that are out there on the internet, but on the cost of the quality and the sound that you are compromising with. And if you are more towards the acoustic piano than the digital one, then honestly, it's not even meant to be transported. But for the transporting and portable purposes though, you can look towards the alternative versions like a digital piano or a keyboard. But still, these are such bulky machines that you can't even think of taking them everywhere like a flute. So if you are someone who's gonna travel more with your instrument, then you really need to focus on this point and give this some importance. Now, the fifth most point, and according to me the most influential point, is that piano opens doors to many pathways. Now, what I mean to say here is that piano is the most commonly used instrument in terms of sound production, music production, sound design, composition and stuff like that in the industrial purposes. And the reason why it is that way is that piano gives more room to play and experiment with notes, and which is not the case with guitar or any other instrument. Now, if you are not able to understand these things clearly, all I mean to say is that a digital piano is designed in such a brilliance that it gives more room and more versatility to play with the virtual instruments inside a DAW, which stands for a digital audio workstation. So if you're not able to understand the technical terms used in this video, then you might consider watching this video to understand it much better. Now, coming back on the topic, due to its fundamental functionality, great design and integration with the virtual instruments, piano just becomes the best option out there to use as a MIDI controller. And that's the big reason why industrial people like Ed Sheeran, Alan Walker and Charlie Puth uses piano as their main production instrument. With that, we are going to end this video. I hope you like this one. We are going to meet you in the next video, and till then, keep safe and keep practicing.